In the heart of a desolate industrial district, an old factory stood abandoned for decades. Locals called it the Ghost Factory. Its towering smokestacks and broken windows loomed ominously, casting eerie shadows under the moonlight. The factory was notorious for the strange occurrences and ghostly sightings reported by those who dared to venture near. Years ago, the factory was a bustling textile mill. Workers toiled day and night, producing fabric for the nearby town. However, a tragic accident changed everything. One stormy night, a fire broke out, engulfing the factory in flames. Many workers perished, and their anguished cries echoed through the night. The factory never reopened, and it soon fell into ruin. Decades passed, and the factory became a ghostly relic, avoided by all. But for Jack, an urban explorer with a thirst for adventure, it was a challenge he couldn't resist. Armed with a flashlight and a camera, Jack decided to investigate the mysteries of the ghost factory. As he stepped inside, the air grew colder. The sound of dripping water echoed through the empty halls. Jack's flashlight flickered, casting fleeting beams of light on the decaying walls. The factory was a labyrinth of rusted machinery and crumbling staircases. Jack carefully made his way deeper into the heart of the building. Suddenly, he heard a whisper. A chill ran down his spine. "Who's there?" he called out, his voice trembling. The only response was the distant creaking of metal. Jack pressed on, determined to uncover the factory's secrets. He reached what used to be the main production floor. The vast space was filled with abandoned looms and spindles, now covered in dust and cobwebs. Jack set up his camera to capture the scene. As he adjusted the lens, he felt a cold breath on his neck. He spun around, but no one was there. The whispers grew louder, and the air thickened with an unnatural presence. Jack's flashlight went out, plunging him into darkness. Panic set in, and he fumbled to turn it back on. When the light flickered to life, Jack gasped. Standing before him were the spectral figures of the factory workers, their eyes hollow and faces twisted in torment. They reached out to him, their ghostly hands passing through his body. Jack could feel their sorrow and pain. He tried to run, but his legs felt heavy as if he was wading through water. In a final desperate attempt, Jack stumbled towards the exit. The factory seemed to come alive, its walls closing in on him. Just as he thought he would be trapped forever, he burst through the door and into the night. Gasping for breath, he turned back to see the factory looming in the darkness, silent and still once more. Jack never spoke of what he saw that night, but he knew the truth. The factory was haunted by the souls of those who perished in the fire, trapped in an eternal cycle of suffering. The ghost factory stood as a chilling reminder of the past, a place where the dead would never rest.